is a hand reaching out to our neighbors in friendship. Even in the midst of the sufferings of this age, when human rights, life, justice, and peace are being threatened, it is love which, like a light illuminating darkness, has turned death into life, enmity into reconciliation. For more than 200 years, the Catholic Church in Korea has communicated with the world and become united with the universal Church, and is living today with this love of Jesus Christ. In the late 1770s, some scholars of the Joseon dynasty, among them Kwon Chul-shin, Chung Yak-jeon, Lee Byuk, gathered together on their own to study the Catholic Catechism and other Catholic books. The books came from the West through China and led these scholars to meet Jesus Christ, who gave his own life to save all people. In this unique way, unprecedented in the world, the church community was established in Joseon, and through their own efforts, people accepted the faith. Our ancestors in the faith, illuminated by the light of truth, faced severe persecutions and accepted tragic deaths for the greater glory of God. Since the establishment of the Apostolic Vicariate of Korea in 1831, less than 200 years ago, the Catholic Church in Korea has grown to include more than 5 million faithful in 15 dioceses and a military ordinariate. The 103 Korean martyrs canonized by Pope John Paul II in 1984 are now venerated by Catholics all around the world. The Catholic Church in Korea has practiced the spirit of evangelical poverty in everyday life, a spirit of true poverty in which we gladly become bread for our neighbors in need, even if we seem foolish. This poverty is a grain of wheat planted to give true happiness, shedding all greed and sharing what we have with love. The sharing of love is the fundamental mission of the Church, and the duty of believers who proclaim the good news to neighbors in need. Through such acts of sharing, the Catholic Church in Korea is alleviating the sufferings of our neighbors, demonstrating that every life in the world is precious and worthy of being loved. As it takes the initiative in various movements for sharing life and for peace on the Korean Peninsula, the Catholic Church in Korea is following the example of Jesus Christ. In this age, when the indiscriminate avarice of man is destroying the environment, and when the very existence of humanity is being threatened, the Catholic Church in Korea is striving to restore the divine order of creation amidst the chaos. The Catholic Church in Korea has served as the conscience of the times in advocacy for the poor and the weak. And today, as ever before, she continues her role as a firm supporter for the weak. The Catholic Church in Korea has defended her faith thanks to the dedication of missionaries. And despite countless persecutions and the scars of war, she has sent more than 600 missionaries around the world, becoming a giver and not just a receiver of the gospel. Practicing the love of Jesus Christ, becoming the good news in Korean society, and filling the world with overflowing joy. This is the kingdom of God that the Catholic Church in Korea envisions. To this end, the Catholic Church in Korea is concentrating on revitalizing small Christian communities in order to rediscover the true nature of the Church in this self-centered world and to create a chain with our neighbors. Within the small Christian communities, the faithful form a fellowship with their neighbors as one family, brothers and sisters, as they bring to realization the community spirit of the early church, which is wide open to the world. Faith blossoms through various devotional activities and spiritual movements in which the faithful reflect on themselves and pray for themselves and their families, their neighbors, and the world. By reading, meditating, and drinking in the wisdom of the Bible, the faithful communities are charged with the strength to spread the good news to all corners of the world. In this way, the Catholic Church in Korea is following the example of Jesus Christ and our forefathers in faith, as she exemplifies fraternity transcending the boundaries of religion, race, and ideology. At the heart of these activities is the Catholic Bishops' Conference of Korea. The Catholic Bishops' Conference of Korea is the official assembly in which the bishops, the pastors of the local churches, gather to address matters of common interest in order to read and respond to the signs of the times from an ecclesiastical perspective. The CBCK holds an ordinary General Assembly biannually where the bishops ponder upon pastoral missions at the national level. It also communicates with the Vatican, other local churches, and the government. In so doing, the Catholic Church in Korea can find a right way to go forward and suggest applications of the Church's teachings to society. The CBCK publishes materials necessary for the lives of the faithful, such as a Korean translation of Vatican documents, official catechisms, the Holy Bible, prayer books, and liturgical books. The CBCK has also prepared an arena of communication for the faithful through Gyeonghang Magazine, the oldest publication in and outside the Church in Korea. Furthermore, by establishing the Catholic Pastoral Institute of Korea in 2011, the CBCK provides the Catholic Church in Korea with important guidelines on how to respond to the needs of these times. Over the past 20 years, the CBCK has provided assistance to 85 countries around the world through Caritas Korea, an international Catholic development and cooperation organization. In particular, in 2011, Caritas Korea was officially recognized under the jurisdiction of the Korean Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Trade as Caritas Korea International, kicking off efforts for international emergency relief and aid to North Korea. Furthermore, the CBCK has dialogues with other religions so that the values of tolerance and coexistence may take root in this land. The CBCK encourages the faithful to remember the spirit of those who have gone before us in faith by promoting the beatification and canonization of martyrs and witnesses of the faith in the Joseon dynasty, especially 124 martyrs and the confessor of the faith, Father Chae Yang-up. Through these activities, the bishops of each diocese, members of the CBCK, represent the living Christ in the world by offering consolation to the sick, food to the poor, a shoulder for the weak to lean on, and a kind hand to the lonely. The Catholic Church in Korea is communicating with the world in this age to spread the good news. She is an ecclesiastical community that is always in unity and strives to become one with its neighbors. The Catholic Church in Korea is going on the way of true happiness by being the light of the world and the salt of the earth, communicating love and peace to our neighbors.
Song.